Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. It's day 7 of my spooky Halloween tutorial videos. Today is a little more advanced than my previous videos. My friend Lana over on TikTok suggested doing a sandworm from BeetleJuice, and I had already planned on doing BeetleJuice, so I thought what a great opportunity to draw a sandworm on my face. I love it. What do you guys think? Like I said, this is a little more advanced, but if you just kind of like find some images on Google and just kind of eyeball it and go with it, the details is what really makes this stand out versus being like little kid art. I did go with the more cartoonish look versus real version, but I absolutely love how it ended up coming out. Like I said, this one is going to be a voiceover. A lot of it's going to be fast forward so that you don't have to sit through the hour and a half that it took me to do this. But I did want to share it with you guys. I thought it was really great and it might give you some inspiration for your own idea. Alright guys, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Please give this video a big thumbs up. Share it if you want to. It always helps me out and I love it when you do. And if you hit the bell, you'll get notifications anytime I post new videos. Alright guys, let's roll right into this tutorial. So I just got a reference photo off of Google that I am looking at on my phone, and then I just wiped an area of my face down from where I had all my makeup. I'm just using a brown eyeliner pencil. You can use any type of pencil to just kind of draw in the sketch of the design that you're going to do. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You're going to go over it with paint. This is just kind of giving you guidelines of where everything's going to be. I'll go ahead and fast forward this part for you now. And then I'm just going to use this flat-headed paintbrush that I also received from Erin in my recent mystery box. And I'm going to pick up some white face paint. Again, you don't have to use the Erin. You can use any. This is just what I had on hand and in front of me. And I'm just going to start with that first sandworm that's on top. That's got the, I guess he's the main one. And I'm going to start just filling him in with white. I mean, I'm going into my hair a little bit just because I don't know where the wig's going to sit. So I just want to make sure that everything is white. And I'm not worried about where the drawing that I put in for the eye is because you're just going to kind of go in there. You can lay down your brow if you want to. It was already midnight and I just was not down for it. As long as you get enough coats of the white paint down, you'll cover that brow. And you may need to do this a couple of times, do a couple of layers just so it's not looking too translucent. Again, we will be going over everything with powders for shading and what have you, but just make sure you have a good white base. And again, while looking at the reference photo, I will start going in on that second sandworm and bringing that white in. While looking at the reference photo, I can see where the black dark shadow is so that he's not as big as the top sandworm. So I'm just kind of trying to guesstimate about where I'm going to have that black and not bother putting the white there. That way I don't get too lost where the two sandworms meet together. And then just continue to fill him in. And if, again, you need to layer more of that white just so it's not too translucent looking, do that. Make sure to cover those eyelashes because that's part of his body and you want to try to cover your eye and make it invisible. So now I'm getting a smaller paintbrush and I'm going to pick up some of the red. And again, looking at my photo, I'm going to make a shape for the eye. We're going to make that shape, color it in, and then just go back in and just layer that color up to make sure we get a nice deep true red color. Again, we'll be going in with other shades and some shading as well. Then with a flat paintbrush and some black body paint, we're going to start to make the black stripes that are in the body of the sandworm. Make them a little bit thick. And then I started some of the outline of the sandworm with the black as well, just so I don't get lost and can keep an eye on where he is. Again, just go back into your reference photo and just keep going in with the next colors. Next, on a round brush, I'm going in with a deep tone green paint from my palette, and I'm going to start to make the lips on both of the sandworms. I'm going to jump into my Jaclyn Hill by Morphe Volume 2 palette with a fluffy brush from e.l.f. and picking up the black in that palette. And I started to put the shadow down first, and then I realized that that just wasn't going to get dark enough. So I ended up adding the black paint and then putting the shadow on top of it and then dragging the shadow down into the white. And with a fine detail makeup brush, I am just kind of figuring out where I want to put that second eye on the other sandworm in the yellow paint, because he has a yellow eye in the reference photo that I have. And then I will make that, do it in that bright yellow, and then I'll go in with a bit of a darker yellow just to give it some dimension so it doesn't look so flat on my face. Now we're going to go in with white and a fine detail brush and start making the teeth on both the sandworms. And then with another fine paintbrush, we're going to go in with the black and start adding all these little black lines for details. Again, your reference photo will help you a lot, but this will give it that comic book cartoon effect and really just start to bring this whole thing to life and not look so flat on our skin. So now that we went ham with all that black detail, we do have to add some highlights, and the best way to do that is a fine brush again and with some white paint. If you find the white is a little too harsh, just tap it out with your finger. It makes a great buffer. And then just kind of add that highlight anywhere you see fit that needs it, especially on the eyes. It'll really make those eyes pop. That red eye looks amazing, if I do say so myself. And then I wanted to add a little shadow underneath the sandworm's mouth just to kind of make it look like he was lifted up off my face a little bit. So I'm just taking a brown from that Jaclyn Hill palette again and just kind of buffing it under his mouth and anywhere a shadow would lay. And now we've tossed on our wig and we're calling it done. What do you guys think? Would you attempt to do this? It was super fun. I really enjoyed doing this. Thank you so much, Lana, for suggesting it to me. Let me know if you're going to do it down in the comments below. And be sure to tag me on Instagram or Twitter if you recreate it. My name is on the page now. Alright guys, and that is our sandworm all done. I love how it came out. What do you guys think? Leave me a comment below, and here at the end I will post a couple of photos for you so you can see it. If you decide to do one similar, please tag me on Twitter or Instagram. My handle is right here. It's the same at both. I would love to see your recreations. Alright guys, until tomorrow. Bye.